Welcome to another Sunny review, and before I start this, I do want to give fair warning that this game is a mature game featuring pretty mature themes. So this is not a game for kids, but with that said, let's take a look at The Church in the Darkness. Games inspired by some cults in the 1960s and 70s and some true life events like Jonestown that saw 918 people die back in 1978. So there's definitely some controversy in the development of this game. But in this game's story, you are Vic, an ex-law enforcement looking to infiltrate Freedom Town and try to rescue your nephew Alex from the collective justice mission led by Rebecca and Isaac Walker. Quickly you realize that Rebecca and Isaac have a grip on their people, and you realize something is pretty off here. The Church in the Darkness is a top-down stealth game with 18 different endings that will have you sneaking through a big map on your search for Alex, and you'll be going about Freedom Town, sneaking your way through as you essentially try to avoid detection from the guards and townspeople. But as you're sneaking about, you'll be hearing from Rebecca and Isaac through the intercom, spouting a lot of themes of injustice and why they're trying to build something great.
Do you know why we named this place Freedom Town?
We named it for the freedoms America promised us, but which we never really had.
At last, here we are free. To love our God and love ourselves as America would never let us.
We only ask that you love this place.
As we love all of you.
This, for the most part, was a positive in most of my playthroughs, as the voice acting here was really well done and the writing was well written. Definitely highlighted how some people felt during those times in the 60s and 70s. For the mechanics and gameplay, you'll be able to approach how you want to tackle Freedom Town in any way you desire. The guards will be heavily armed and will shoot you on sight if you get too near them. They will turn on the alarms and put the entire town on notice. If you get caught, you have essentially 2 lives before the game gives you the game over and you have to start from scratch. You essentially have the freedom to kill everyone you want or sneak and not kill a single person. Vic can perform stealth moves to subdue people and hide their bodies from detection, or sneak behind them to flat out murder them instead. You can throw rocks to distract the guards and move them out of position. You will also get access to firearms through your playthroughs, as this can be used as an option. You can partially disguise yourself and blend in a bit to avoid a bit less detection. You can also mess with the alarm boxes to keep the town from being alerted. You'll also be looting and searching for clues and helping some of the people from Freedom Town look for proof of possible injustices, and when you help them, they will give you a bonus that will be useful in your specific playthrough. When you end up unlocking an ending, you will get new items and new people who will show up in Freedom Town. As for the looting, you'll find basic things that'll help you, like medkits, painkillers, items to disable the alarm boxes, distraction items like alarm clocks or noisy radios, and a lot of information items like clippings and letters from residents and manifestos showing evil doings. As for things I found in the Church of Darkness I did not like, to start, the controls were not tight and responsive and were very clunky. I was playing with a Nintendo Switch controller and the aiming was really weird, and it would have this slingshot effect when you move the joystick to aim. There's also an auto aim here when you're targeting with a weapon, but getting to aim on a target was really difficult, and as someone who's played a lot of top-down twin-stick shooters, this was definitely a huge negative here. The visuals in this game are extremely poor, and I went ahead and did my research and noticed there was absolutely no difference between the PC and any of the other console ports. It's not a great looking game, but this is only getting a slight ding for me, as I am not a graphic snob by any means, and this is an indie title. Now, while the concept of Church in the Darkness is something unique, and I did think the game was well written, I did get fatigued listening to Isaac and Rebecca after some playthroughs. You will start to notice the same variations in what you're hearing, and some of it does change, especially on certain actions you perform, but I did feel tired of listening to the same thing over and over. Overall, though, I was a tad indifferent to the game. I had some playthroughs I completely enjoyed, and some of it I was just wanting it to be over with to see the endings. The games in which I stealth on my way through without being violent, I tended to find boring because not much was happening and it felt the game being too slow. Games where I took a more aggressive approach, I had more of a blast, and seeing Rebecca and Isaac react to it made it even more engaging. This game will have an audience to its theme, and I think if you're looking to purchase this for that reason, you won't be disappointed. The gameplay itself, though, feels repetitive after a few playthroughs. Even if you're aggressive or stealthy, it just felt too repetitive. Controls being clunky turned me off as well, so my final score for me is going to be a 5.7 out of 10. There is value to be had here, and I think if you're looking to hear the stories and how this culture was like in a video game form, you'll find some fun here. With 18 different endings, each lasting between 30 minutes to 2 hours each, and new items and people being unlocked, there is definitely some replayability here. But that's only if you don't get fatigued by the story or its gameplay. But with all that said, if you guys like this review, please consider subbing to the channel. If you like this video, hit that like button as it helps others find the review. But with all that said, I hope you all have a sunny day.